All right, here's another one also with sound. So many memories when you just hear that sound. Let's bring it back. It's so good. Also, this seems very, very close. Again, this is speaking out of my nostalgia, childhood memory of especially this, like the jumps back. This seems so straight off the old cartoons. That I love this here, especially given with that move over for that nice line of action, that weight shift, and then that face. Like these are to me such classic faces, and then into the scramble for the run out. Again, really cool. Wanted to just highlight that clip just because it's really well done. It feels very, very old school Tom. The only thing would be what I mentioned other shots before, just the pickiness that I have for some of the shapes and potentially looking at cleaner silhouettes, but also just not having this brick as a foot. And in this case, also with the run, I would probably go something where, again, even though we're emulating 2D, just kind of we can tell in a 3D world. So having that Tom end up maybe head here and then throughout all of this get to that point so it's not so locked in 2D space, because of that you start to feel that head detachment where there's something really IK headish, head align, whatever that control you want to call it, whatever you're familiar with, but it just seems very detached. You can see how those arms go up and down. I would have a little bit more side to side roll and maybe some up and down, just like a roll down with the nose struck up and down here. Just something to break that up a bit. It just seems a bit, this might be, again, my memory's hazy, but this might be taken straight out of the 2D version. But even then, I would just tweak it a little bit. Even that tail, do not go into like a full cycle, have a slight little change, and again, work a little bit more on clean silhouettes and bringing those toes down. Like that's good, but then you imagine that will come back into more of a curl. Just stuff like that to me. That's really cute though. I still love all those big arm poses into that. That is just so much fun. I love all this. And then it goes back to what I mentioned on the clips, the compression on toes, stuff like that. I think your hang time is great. You could have a slight straight path here. I would give this a bit more, a bit of an arc in there. Just the tad. And just because we'll be in there in 3D, the slight changes. Again, this is probably taken out of the 2D version, but slight changes in this on holding and tightening of the fingers, just little changes so it doesn't feel like this is the pose and then you just have stretchy arms holding on to that. I do love this though, and that's great. Stuff like that is really great. Even here you can have a little bit of a change in the fingers before we let go. This, especially with all that weight shift, has a lot of changes there that I would put in the foot subjectively, and then it goes back into this again with the head and the toe and the foot shapes, and then probably on that sudden speed up when you go and slide. So that's like go on this, actually straightening the tail for like a really speed, even stretch that tail to some degree. It's so good though. Again, it's a fine line between emulating 2D and putting in too much 3D-ness in there in terms of detail that takes away from that feel, but it is, especially in this case, rendered still with a 3D feel to it. But it's really good. I also want to highlight this when he jumps, the end of the head, that bounciness is really good. Doing, and then goes into boring with the ears and just the bounciness, how that settle is. Like that's really nice. I really, really love this whole end here. Pull out into that, also the head shapes into that with his eyes. That's super appealing. Love all that stuff. And then going back into I gotta get back to chasing. Yeah, so lots of cool stuff as always. Little picky notes here and there, but really, really cool.